A society to have order and to protect its citizens must have rules. Rules or laws are created and agencies are formed to enforce the rules. In the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. Our judicial system, our courts, have the task of determining guilt. When guilt is found, the courts mete out the consequences. If we follow the rules of our society, we may never have to face the bar of justice inside a criminal courtroom. Join us now as we see an actual Lake County court in session.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Miller. Could all of you, including visitors, please raise your right hands? Do each of you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under the pains and penalty of perjury? Okay, thank you. You can put your hands down. Each of you has a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're under 18. I need to know if you're not a citizen of the United States. If you're not a citizen of the United States, pleading today could affect your immigration status. If you're on probation or parole, I need to know that because pleading today could affect your status on probation or parole. If you plead today, you're giving up your right to have a trial and to have an attorney represent you at that trial. If you're sentenced today on a criminal charge, you need to go to room 105 and either pay the mandatory costs or sign up for the payment plan. The least the mandatory cost can be is $273, and that's in addition to whatever we do here. Tony Lucian.
Hey, how you doing today, Judge? You gave me a court date and I missed it, and I wrote you a letter and faxed it.
Okay, let me see if the letter's in the file. You typed it?
Yes, I had my sister type it for me.
Okay, let me read it. I think I've read it before, but let me read it again. All right. Did you get arrested already?
Oh, no.
Okay, well, we'll withdraw the capias, and you're here, so it's kind of a moot point now. So you're charged with driving while license suspended. Your license was suspended for, well, you turned it in and got an ID card.
Yes.
And you're suspended out of Broward County for not paying a ticket.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me finish. You're suspended out of Broward County for not paying 6 tickets and 1 ticket in Lake. That's not due until May 22nd. Could I have the Lake County ticket for Tony Lucian, please? All right. You've had a prior driving with no license. All right. Ms. Papula, this is Tony Lucian. He had to know he wasn't allowed to drive. He had turned in his license and gotten an ID card.
Yes, Your Honor.
But it's not really on the same suspension, and he does not have a valid license now.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. You have a prior?
It's a prior driving without a driver's license.
Oh, yes. I see. But it's not really on the same.
All right, you got a ticket in Lake County in February for speeding.
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't pay it, so you're about to be suspended for not paying the speeding ticket. It's $256. You have not had a prior speeding ticket that I can tell, so I will give you a break on the speeding ticket. But you knew you weren't allowed to drive, and you drove, and you haven't fixed it yet.
Yes, can I have, I was with my brother, and he just got his license, and we was coming from a court appearance that he had in Ocala, so I was just helping him drive on the highway.
But you weren't allowed to.
I know. It just he's not experienced as I.
You weren't allowed to.
Yes, and I understand that, and I take all fault for driving.
Yeah, and that's why you could be going to jail for 2 months.
Yes, but I was going to ask if I could have 30 days because I'm going to fix my license because I'm working on getting the money to reinstate my license. It's $600 $95 to reinstate my license to get it back.
Ms. Papula, he has no prior dwell assist. Any objection to my giving him 3 months to fix this?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you're present. You waive speedy trial. We'll continue it for 3 months.
August 7th.
August 7th, 2013 at 8 a.m. Defendant to fix DL.
All right, can I ask one more question?
Okay, Mr. Lucian, we'll see you in 3 months. Wait for your paperwork.
All right, Your Honor, I had spoke to the clerk. She said I might have a KPS for me. She said, ask you.
And I told you already
Okay,
that we're withdrawing it.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's one of the first things I said, I think. He was too nervous to listen. He's not a good listener. Marissa Hill, to the microphone. And then Laquinda Scott. Laquinda Scott, where are you? You'll be after Ms. Hill. Ms. Hill, you got your valid driver's license. Excellent.
Thank you.
You had a prior in '08. This time you were suspended out of Georgia. Well, that must have been a big deal to take care of.
Yeah, it was.
How did you do it?
I actually, in all honesty, forgot to pay it, and then when I found out that my license was suspended, I didn't realize you actually have to either go there or you have to do like a money order and send it away, and then they bring it back.
You took care of all of that.
Yeah, I did it immediately. And I think, sorry, the prior was actually with you.
You
and
had one in Orange County also in 2011.
I didn't know that.
It was a civil one. You paid it. It was without knowledge.
The one in 2008, I actually did. I didn't know that it was suspended, and it turned out to.
Stop.
Sorry.
Stop. Okay, the one in 2008 is too far away to. No.
You said that one wasn't. It was. I had changed insurance companies, and the second insurance company didn't report to Tallahassee, and you advised me that whenever I changed insurance companies, to wait and make sure they fax it right then.
Okay, but that was in February. This happened in April. So I think it's just outside the 5 years. Okay, but you know you get 3 in a 5-year period and you lose your license for 5 years.
I was not aware of that.
But you are now.
I am definitely now.
All right, so you had the one in Orange County, and then you had the one in '08, but I think it was more than 5 years ago from when you got this one.
Okay.
So, are you going to plead to this one?
What?
Not going to be jail, it's just a it's a $200 fine. You can get off of probation as soon as you pay it.
Yes, please.
Okay, we'll get it written up, and Ms. Hill needs to be printed. Laquinda Scott to the microphone, and then Michael Aspinwall, where are you? Come right up as soon as she's finished. Ms. Scott, you're charged with driving while license suspended. You have a very good record. You had one ticket that you got this year, and you didn't pay it out of Orlando.
I forgot about it.
Have you paid it now?
No, ma'am.
Well, you need to pay it and get your license.
Yes, ma'am.
How long before? We'll give you a month. All right, you're present, you waive speedy trial, and you'll be back here in a month,
Yes, ma'am.
which will be June 5th,
Yes, ma'am.
2013, 8 a.m., defendant to get DL.
Question.
Yes?
Does it say how much the ticket is?
Don't have any information about
Okay.
it. Ms. Papula, are you willing to change this to a civil if she fixes it?
No priors, right?
I have no priors on this record.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Angie, this is going to be reduced to a civil if she gets her valid license. Can you put that language that if you have no further law violations and you get your valid driver's license, you can take care of this at the traffic window?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll reduce it to a civil and withhold.
Okay.
All right, Michael Aspinwall to the microphone, please. Where's Stephen Russell? Mr. Russell, just as soon as he's gone, pop right up. Mr. Aspinwall, you're charged with a battery.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Papula, I am assuming you don't have any information on it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, one of the witnesses says you pushed her. Another of the witnesses said you were choking her against the van. So that's what the battery's all about. Are you going to plead to the battery today, or are you going to say not guilty and talk to an attorney?
May I ask what I might plea out to before I agree to?
Okay, it appears to me it would be anger management.
Also an alcohol eval. I think the officer said that they were.
Oh, that's right. So alcohol evaluation, any treatment recommended, and 8 hours of anger management. There seems to be investigative costs of $210. So the police department who handled this case said it took a long time and they would like $210. So it would be probation. You can get off of probation as soon as you have an alcohol evaluation, any treatment recommended, 8 hours of anger management. And I don't know if Miss Spurrier wants contact or not. I'll call her and find out.
Yes, ma'am.
And I apologize, Your Honor, just in case, could the state reserve restitution if he wanted a plea? I'm not sure if there would be any.
There wasn't any based, it's a push, if there was a push, and holding her by the neck against the van.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
That's the way I read it.
Okay.
But we can say reserve restitution just in case it dented the van or something. All right, are you interested in that offer? I'll call her and see if it's okay with her and if she wants contact.
Yes, ma'am. I'll plead no contest to that offer.
Okay, what's her phone number?
479
Well, I don't know what the area code is.
1352.
352.
Yes, ma'am.
The number you have reached is not in service. This is a recording.
Maybe I wrote it down wrong.
No, it's just, that means that her phone's off when it does like that. You know what I'm saying? She probably ain't got a charge or it might be dead or something.
All right, if I can't reach her, there can't be contact. So I will say victim must contact probation or the court before there can be any contact.
All right. I didn't understand that, ma'am. What was that?
You can't have any contact with her at this point, but I'll put on the court sheet that she can contact me and ask for contact, and I'll reconsider, but someone could check out this file and see it? And that's the only number that we have to try?
Yes, ma'am. As far as I know right now. Yes, ma'am.
You're not staying together now, right?
No, ma'am. She's in Marion County.
Do you know who she's staying with?
I just know a friend by the name of Roxanne. That's it. I don't really know too much about where she's at.
All right, I'll sentence you as we said, but no victim contact. Victim may request contact through the court.
How would she go about doing that, ma'am? Is she...
Well, you can't tell her anything. You can't, but your friends or relatives could have her write me a letter, a notarized letter saying she wants contact.
Okay.
Victim may request contact through the court by writing a notarized letter.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're present. I told everyone when we started that there are mandatory costs. For a battery, those mandatory costs are at least $700. Plus, in this case, there are investigative costs, so it's more than $1,000 in mandatory costs.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, 12
I
months.
have to pay those costs before I get off probation?
They're not a condition of probation.
Right, okay.
You go to the payment plan and work out a payment arrangement with them.
Yes, ma'am.
What is part of probation, 12 months probation, early term after you complete everything. And help me, Ms. Babula, we said alcohol
Yes, Your Honor.
evaluation, any treatment recommended.
Yes. 8 hours.
Consume no alcohol, and then alcohol evaluation, any treatment recommended.
Then you also said 8 hours of anger management?
8 hours of anger management, and I'm not adding a fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, your mandatory costs are,
Yes, ma'am.
you could buy a car for what that's going to
Yes,
be.
ma'am.
And the state wanted to reserve, in case there was some restitution. This doesn't say you broke a tooth or anything like that.
Yes, ma'am.
No contest, and withhold, there's no prior? I didn't see one. Adjudication, withhold, and you're going to report to probation when you leave here.
Yes, ma'am.
And no alcohol evaluation, any treatment recommended, anger management, and no contact with her unless I get a notarized letter from her saying she wants contact.
Yes, ma'am. Where would I report to probation at, ma'am?
Right outside the double doors on the left.
Okay.
Mr. Aspinwall,
Yes, ma'am.
where do you work?
I'm working for a friend right now, just doing side work right now. So my pay fluctuates every week.
Mr. Aspinwall, you don't seem to have an anger management problem as you're standing here, so is that all about the alcohol?
Yeah, I can't drink, ma'am.
So what are you going to do about that? I mean, I'm going to say no drinking while you're on probation, but are you going to try to give it up altogether?
Yes, ma'am. It's costing me too much money.
Okay, Mr. Aspinwall, I'm going to change, you don't have to go to anger management.
Okay.
So that's 8 hours, and it would have been like $15 an hour or something.
Thank
It
you.
looks to be all the alcohol.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you live? What city?
Leesburg.
Have you ever had any alcohol issues before? DUI or?
No, ma'am. No, not that. Nothing that got me in the courtroom. No, ma'am.
You seem like a pretty good guy, so I'm hoping it's just the alcohol. All right, that's the only condition that I've left is alcohol evaluation, any treatment recommended.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, and you live in Lake County, and you were here when the providers in the back of the courtroom introduced themselves. One of the providers isn't here now, but you can open up the phone book, and there are lots of providers.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I don't think we're going to see you in court again because you're sorry it happened. I don't see sorry a lot in here.
ma'am.
So, good luck.
Thank you.
Stephen Russell, please. Mr. Russell, thank you for popping right up. If we get things moving, we can be out of here before dinner time. Mr. Russell, you're charged with resisting or obstructing. Now, that doesn't make sense to me because you were so cooperative in here, and yet out there on the street, you weren't.
Oh, no, I was, Judge.
Let me read and see what this is all about. You got tasered?
On the ground.
I attempted a traffic stop using my emergency lights and siren. The vehicle was occupied by an individual who had active Lake County warrants. Is that you?
I was in the back seat.
So I activated my lights and siren, the vehicle fled. The vehicle came to a rest, and the deputies ordered the 4 people in the vehicle out of the car. As arrestee Mr. Russell exited, he was given orders and refused physically, and a deputy had to pull him to the ground. That must have been a pretty big deputy to get you to the ground.
No, because when the car stopped, when they opened the door, they said, get on the ground. That's what I did. I got on the ground, face down forward.
And he didn't get on the ground, so I tasered him. Why'd you have your hand up?
I'm the father. I spoke to the arresting officer supervisor. I called the person and spoke to him.
Come on up to the microphone. But so for today, we're going to say not guilty?
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
There may be a video, because once they turn their lights on,
Yeah, you will see it happen on camera, what happened plain as day. I'm laying in front of the car, on the ground in front of the car.
I can't wait to see it. Ms. Papula,
Yes, Your Honor.
could you make sure that we have the video right away?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll make a note to request the video if it,
SAO to get video ASAP. Okay, you haven't seen the video,
No.
but you're pretty sure it happened right in front of the
In front of
camera.
like 2 cars, yeah, it did. It should have.
Well, if there are 2 cars,
It was
then-
like 5, it was a high-speed chase. So it was like 5 cars on us, I guess. So as the car stopped, I see the Charger and the Impala. They're facing us.
okay, I can say if I'm a deputy and a car is fleeing and attempting to elude, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm going to be, ready with my hand on my gun, and so everything's
Happened real fast.
tense.
Yeah.
Right. But you're only charged with not getting on the ground when they told you to.
And that's wrong. That's a lie.
Well, this is a intense situation, and we'll see if there was a mistake here. Everyone get out of the car, get on the ground, and he's saying you didn't.
He told my father. I said no. I was being disgruntled, I guess, or whatever.
Okay, and you're able to get on the ground. You don't have any health reasons that would keep you from getting on the ground, and you're saying you did.
Face down, hands out. 'Cause I knew I didn't do anything wrong. I was just in the back seat riding in the car.
Well, you're hanging out with somebody who has warrants and
I
is fleeing.
didn't know, but
Okay, so you're going to enter a not guilty. You can get a private attorney if you want. I'm not sure you need the public defender yet until we watch the video, but if you would like me to appoint the public defender, if you can't afford a private attorney, it's $250, and then your public defender can get the video and start watching it ahead of time.
well, that'll be okay. Yeah, right
Okay,
now.
how much do you make a week?
About 300.
All right, if you want me to appoint the public defender, I will. There'll be a $250 minimum charge for their services. And Mr. Rogers, you need to go ahead and do reciprocal discovery so you can get the video as fast as possible. All right, Mr. Russell and Father, talk to Mr. Rogers.
Your Honor?
Blanca Roble Sanchez. Miss Annie, finally. Miss Roble Sanchez is charged with driving with no license. State, best you can tell, this is a first offense?
The best I can tell, yes, Your Honor.
Miss Annie, she can take the written plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
And could you please tell her if she gets another one and she's in front of me, it will be jail time?
Es multa y costos de la corte, pero si pasa otra vez, definitivamente va a ser cárcel.
All right, but if you'll go ahead and
I
do
understand.
the written plea.
Pero
we'll-
por el momento es multa y costo de la corte. Gracias. Sí.
All right, next is Renisha Wallace. Miss Wallace, you're charged with a battery. I cannot believe how many batteries we've had today. Miss Papua, state has a recommendation or no?
No, Your Honor, I apologize, but I apologize. This is crazy. I shouldn't be shifting like this, but apparently Miss Robles does have priors, Your Honor. I don't know if that, it looks like she has 2 priors.
Well, then that's jail time. Then she has more than one record. What are you looking on?
I'm on a CCIS.
So does it have a driver's license number? Not that she's ever had one, but a record number.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Let me see.
Miss Annie, could you tell her that the prosecutor is looking up and believes she has 2 priors before, so that this one would be jail. Ms. Wallace,
Yes, ma'am.
you are charged with a battery. How old is your daughter?
I have 2. I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old.
And the alleged victim in this case is the child's father?
Yes, ma'am. Of my 2-year-old.
Were you married to him?
No, ma'am. We were just in a long-term relationship.
And was he living in the home with you at the time?
No, ma'am. Not at the time that the incident happened, but we used to live together.
I didn't make you stay till 5, but I did set a bond because I thought this was way too much. I reduced your bond, but I thought this was more violence than was necessary. With whom does the child live?
With me.
And if you don't like the hair situation, why let him have any contact with the child
Your
at this
Honor, I
point?
was frustrated that day due to prior my auntie died that stays in New York, and I was trying to find a way to go to the funeral. So I was a little aggravated. It wasn't intentionally because I'm not normally that aggressive with him. We normally have a good understanding when it comes down to our daughter. It was just family relationship-wise.
Ms. Papula, I guess no recommendation on this one either?
No, Your Honor.
Was this the one where you needed him to watch the child so you can go you had a job interview?
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't get the other job?
No, ma'am.
Good luck.
Prior to, my mother actually got me the job, and the guy, the manager over the job, he didn't know that that was my mother. He said we couldn't work in the same department, that relative couldn't work in the same department. Other than that, he wouldn't have never gave me the interview if he would have known that.
All right. Ms. Papula, have you read the probable cause affidavit? I reduced the bond, but I wasn't convinced enough there was no fault to ROR her.
Okay.
I'm not sure why I didn't ROR her, but they're fighting over the daughter's hair. All right, do you want us to make you an offer, or do you want to say not guilty and talk to an attorney? One of the worst parts about the battery charge is the mandatory costs are close to $700.
Oh, wow.
So, Ms. Papula, do you want this to stay a battery? Are you willing to change it to something like disturbing the peace?
If she wants to plead for the time being, she doesn't have any history, so she is actually eligible for PTI. So if she wants to plead not guilty and then give us a chance to talk to the victim and see if...
All right, we have a program called pretrial intervention. You sign a contract with the state. If you complete all the conditions, they drop the charge.
What conditions will it...
I don't know yet. That's up to them.
Okay.
It will be like anger classes, that sort of thing.
Okay.
You can turn it down when it comes, but for right now, the suggestion is that you say not guilty, come back next time, and we'll tell you what the offer is.
Okay, well, not guilty.
Our defendant is present, enters a not guilty plea, and for the time being, absolutely no contact with him.
Okay, I have another question. I was finna talk to you about that. He actually came and got her like last week. We had the Lake County present within the him getting her. Because when I left the jail, they told me that I could have contact with him as long as it was with a deputy sheriff present.
I said no contact. So I'm still saying no contact with him.
Okay.
But if you want me to add may exchange child with a law enforcement officer present?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so now that is official.
Okay. So now.
All right, we'll see you at your new court date. Madam Clerk will write it down. You'll have it in your hand in just a moment.
Okay.